All right, let's do this. Final show, folks. All right, welcome back to the CITIUS MAG studio, right up at the top of Prince Puckler's, just a stone's throw away from Hayward Field. This is the final day of Trials Talk, the season finale. Oh my gosh.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, Chris. I need some more bass in that chest.
Yeah?
Talk like you love track and field or something.
I am at my last bit.
Day two.
All right, let's talk some
Thank
track
you.
and field.
Yes.
Come
All
on
right.
now.
Today we saw meet records in all of the track events. We saw a meet record in the women's javelin throw. This was just nonstop action. If you got to the stadium at about 4:30-ish and then stayed through till 5:30, it was just banger after banger after banger after banger of a race. And we've got a full Olympic team. I think now we're starting to crunch some more numbers. We're starting to hear through the grapevine who's declaring for what. We're waiting to get official word on who potential members of the relay pool will be. So let's unpack all of it. We're gonna walk through the track events, and at some point we're gonna have poly throws call in because we did have the men's hammer throw, pole vault, high jump, triple jump, javelin throw. So let's just jump into the track events first. The first thing was the men's 5,000 meter final, which was a little bit of a weird race. This one we came into it just thinking it's like, oh, this might be Grant Fisher versus Cole Hawker. Didn't end up playing out that way. It was a little bit slower toward the beginning, but then it was Woody Kincaid who really decided to string things out, took it out hot. It didn't last all that long. The pack reeled him back in, and then from there it was essentially the Grant Fisher, Abdi Hamid Nur show as they kind of went off on their own for a bit and left a pretty good battle for third place where it ended up being Parker Wolf and Graham Blanks duking it out, the two college kids. Parker Wolf ends up just slightly ahead of him, 13:10.75 for a shiny new personal best. Graham Blanks 2 seconds behind him. And then all of a sudden there's just world ranking confusion after that to try and figure out who is our team. Eric, first impressions of that race.
Did Woody need a time?
Yes.
He did?
Yeah.
He needed it to be a fast race?
Yes.
Okay. Because we were like, what? That was some crazy strategy. If not, I mean, it was. We were shocked to see it. Karen did call it.
Yes. In the morning show, we kind of gave her grief
We
about
gave her a lot of grief.
about
We were
Woody
like,
is not going to take it out.
Why would the best guy, the guy with the best kick, why would he ever lead a step of the race? He hits the front. Karen looks over to Mac and she's like, "Who called it, baby?" Why? I mean, wild race. Parker Wolf. I mean, Parker Wolf, Graham Blanks. That was the real surprise. We hyped up Cole Hawker a whole lot, and we thought that he just looked so good that he was definitely going to make that team. He wasn't really ever a contender to be in the top three.
Do we think it was the heat?
I mean, I'm sure it was a lot of.
Tired.
It's just a bit tired. He ran 3:30 a few days ago. Then he ran the prelim, and then he had this race, and it wasn't slow. It wasn't slow enough maybe for him to be in the mix, but yeah, I mean, just an amazing race. We kind of did leave, and a lot of people, just because Abdi's under raced, that we hadn't seen a whole lot of him, so we didn't really think that we weren't. Not that we didn't think he could make the team. It's just you're not quite sure of his status. But man, that last lap especially was just crazy. And you see that Grant Fisher got past with about 300 to go, 250 to go. I can't remember exactly now, but I mean he battled back. The last home stretch for a lot of these distance races has been insane. Mm-hmm. And then the Parker Wolf and Graham. Man, I mean, the college guys are getting better. Just killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Incredible. I mean, I think we've seen a lot of races here come down to the wire. The women's 5K, we've not in the 15 today, but, in just some of these some of these prelims. What I loved regarding Grant is he, it came down to the wire there, but he had that extra gear. And I think that's the Olympian coming out in him. And that's who I think we all feel so secure and happy about sending to Paris. Someone who has that extra gear, can find it. And, I mean, he is looking great. That, to me, is the biggest, take out of all of this, is coming back from a 10K to win the 5K. Grant is looking so good. Total, I think, medal contention, in his fitness. And then, who doesn't love a story of the two collegians coming down the home stretch, replicating, an NCAA race? I think that, resonated with a lot of people, and we love to see the future of American distance running.
So Parker's in.
Oh,
great.
I think, if I'm putting my election night cap on, it's too close to call for me right now.
Yeah.
Let's explain it. All right, so top two,
Caitlin's
easy.
ready.
Top
I'm
two
not.
are easy. We've got Grant Fisher, Abdi Hamanur. They're going. Easy enough. Now,
here we go. Textbook talk. Let's go.
all right. Parker Wolf finishes in third. Personal best, 13:10.75. Does not have the Olympic standard. He's going to have to try and get in via the world rankings. The entry point, the field size for the Olympics is 42. And so with this performance, he moves up to about 1,200 points. My math on that might be a little bit off because I was watching the 1,500 meter final at the same time, but there's 42 is the magic number. After all of this, I think he gets to 46, which puts him ahead of Jack Rayner from Australia. And so he's going to need a few people to scratch. To my knowledge, after kind of just looking at the names ahead of him on that Road to Paris list, you've got South Africa's Adrian Wildschut, who trains with NAZ Elite. He's only doing the 10,000 meters at the Olympics. I confirmed that with his coach, or the executive director of NAZ Elite, Ben Rosario, texted him. So that's obvious. One person there. New Zealand, George Beamish. He's doing a steeplechase. Fairly obvious. I didn't even have to text Dathan. He got named to the New Zealand Olympic team in the steeplechase. That's 2. Nico Young and Cooper Tier, they are also ahead in the rankings, but they didn't run in this race, so you have to pluck them out. That's 4. There's a couple other people that are question marks here. I think the magic number somewhere between 5 or 6 scratches is what Parker Wolf needs, so this puts him sort of at that precipice of whether or not he's going to get selected.
Yeah.
There's question marks behind Adel Michal from Spain. I don't know if he's going to double. He did at the European Championships. There's something weird where sort of like Abdi Hamanur and Grant Fisher are still in the quota ahead of him, so those are spots that are taken up. So that's where it's really
he's right on that line.
Yeah, he's right on that line, and I haven't gotten the chance to pour over the results of other national championships that took place this past week, and I believe we're the last ones. So when the clock strikes midnight tonight, I think all performances are locked in, and that's when sort of now you have to start to sort through this athlete I think is in, this athlete I think is out. I saw both sides of it. I think I could see, Parker Wolf did the medal ceremony and all that stuff.
I was gonna say there needs to be some sort of, because he signed the mini Eiffel Tower.
Oh, he did.
They interview him on the field. They do all the stuff that he's that he's for sure on the team, and then to not be on the team seems pretty. I mean, it's rough.
Yeah.
There needs to be something. I don't know, but I just think it's weird to do. And then you rob Graham Blanks
of all that joy
and moments. Let's say Graham does end up going. You rob him of these moments that are huge for these Olympians. I don't know. It just shows that there does need to be some sort of there needs to be a more clear-cut system.
Yeah. So all in all, the system's kind of broken, as we've kind of not broken, but just confusing as we learned throughout these trials. It's not to make this system easier for us to figure out. The rest of the world deals with this. It's just sort of we're in a weird predicament in a handful of spots right now. So I feel for Graham. I did talk to him afterwards, and I said, I'm still crunching the numbers. I can't tell you definitively like I did for the other ones.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I know, I get it. Don't get my hopes up for anything like that. I could kind of see Gibby in the stands was also a little bit jazzed up. But again, we don't know, and we won't know for certain for a little while. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I think it's easier. Obviously, I think it's easier said than done. But I mean, this is obviously coming from a slight place of ignorance, but I don't know why some of these athletes maybe do they not have like guidance and a team and coaches that are like, hey, this is the scenario. Here are 3 scenarios of what you need to do. Like, this is strategy. I just don't understand maybe why. Is this because it's so new? I mean, what's your take on this, Chris? Why maybe there isn't more of a clear layout?
It hurts the NCAA athletes. Like,
yeah, the
NCAA athletes are the ones who, like, the meets all throughout the season aren't just worth a whole lot. So, like, you do have these breakout performances. Honestly, for someone like Graham, like, the blessing in disguise is the fact that he did run that sub-13 5K, back during the indoor season. And so, for him, like, that is what kind of is keeping the stream alive for a little bit longer. But yeah, it's a good question. There's other countries that have to deal with this. Like, Mitch could kind of just, rant and rave about just sort of like the chase around, like, all these standards and the ranking points especially in these last couple of weeks. But, I mean, if the people we are sending are going to be good. So, yeah. All right. Kind of glossed over the fact we had a world record that was set, and my brain is just mush at this point. So
I'm like, yeah, Kaylin wants to talk. Yeah, let's go.
Woo!
Right.
Kaylin,
y'all the distance people. Y'all can keep talking about the 5K if you want to.
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I don't know, because I just feel like y'all not really giving Sydney McLaughlin New Balance the love that she deserves. Because first of all, let me tell you how crazy this was watching her run this world record in real time, right? So I was under like I was under the tent, so like I wasn't seeing it in person, which is okay. I've seen her break like 3 world records by now, but I'm watching it on the TV. All of us are swarming around the TV. It literally says like 50.75 or like whatever, like 0.3 behind her previous world record was, and then it like drops to like 50.65, and everyone under the tent is like, oh my God, she did it. Like, it's like the craziest party down there. And it's wild because it's like, no matter how many times this girl breaks the world record, no matter how fast she runs, no matter what her competition is, she's just too fast, and we all just absolutely adore it. I mean, like, she took it out, but it was so much fun watching the race too, because Shamir had a lot on the line. A lot of us were concerned, like, earlier on in the week, it's like, you did these 3 400s. What can we do to get to Paris? And it's so unfortunate because she ran a 52.9. 52 still isn't slow. And just the simple fact that it was a season best for her. I feel like she's been dealing with like some other things behind closed doors, maybe injuries or like whatever the case is. But like, as we all know, she hasn't ran that many hurdle races this season. And like, essentially, like, we can consider like the USA trials like a really big, like, USA, like not USA, but like really big season opener for Shamir. Like, this is where she was gonna lay it out all on the line. And so for her to miss this team again, it's so heartbreaking, because y'all know I love Chicago down, like Southside all day long. Like, when I was coming up, running track and field, it was like, if you don't know Shamir Little and the school she went to, and like I loved it real bad. But also, like, having Anna Cockrell, Jasmine Jones, 2 USC athletes, one current and they both former now, because Jasmine's professional. She runs for Adidas. But having Anna and Jasmine on this team, amazing. And I specifically want to talk about Jasmine Jones because of the simple fact that, like, Coach Goodman and Coach Hayes have been saying all season, like, Jasmine Jones is ready to drop something hot. They have been saying it this entire time, and it's like, okay, when we gonna see it? And also, she's a very amazing short hurdler. I mean, she is the 60-meter NCAA national champion. So Jasmine Jones knows what she's doing. And honestly, at the NCAA championships, she was looking to do what Anna Cockrell did back in 2021, which was win the 100 hurdles and the 400 hurdles at NCAAs. But hey, didn't happen. Probably a blessing in disguise, because now she's on this team. And then Anna Cockrell, I believe, 2 PRs to make this team. I mean, Anna has been running all season. And now we've got Sydney with the most emotion that I've ever seen her do. Yes. Look, y'all should have seen her in the content zone. She was dancing. She was juggling Madeline. She was supposed to be juggling croissants, but somebody ate the 3rd croissant. I had the biggest smile on her face. I'm over there hyping her up while she's taking her portrait pictures. Like, I mean, look, I know we think that sometimes Sydney don't be bringing out her personality, but it was such an amazing time seeing her in the content zone. It was like the world was like lifted off of her shoulders down there. So whenever y'all see the content coming out from whoever got her, be happy. because she is happy for herself as well.
She's so happy. Did you see her finish? She looked like Taylor Swift winning an award. We're like, did you know you were in the race? But that's we don't get that from her, and I think that was why it's so special. She knew instantly it was a world record. She knew what time. I think we all were just like, whoa, that was an incredible race. I love seeing athletes like her celebrate their own endeavors because it makes us as fans, I think, just join along. Incredible, and I can't wait to see this content. Where can we see it?
Oh, well, okay. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to talk to her because her hubby came in there and was like, she gotta go, and I was like, dang, please.
Her
And he was
puppy?
like, her hubby.
Oh.
Her hubby.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Her
dang.
puppy speaks
And he was like, nah, like she gotta do her treatment. I was like, okay, so I cried about it on the inside, but they
Oh
was
my
really nice
God.
about it. But she had to go. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think T got an interview with her. I believe Demetra got an interview with her. Alicia, I think, is the name of the other woman that got an interview with her. So find those
Yeah.
3 individuals. You're gonna see some good Sydney content.
Well, I have a question for you, though. I want to ask you, Caitlin, what do you think? I mean, this is someone who's at the top of their game time and time and time again. What do you think she's doing better this year than she has ever before? We saw her open up with an incredible 200, like a world-leading time. Is that it? Is it speed? What do you think she's doing different?
I wish I knew because Bobby don't say nothing about nothing. Bobby don't say nothing about his athletes. Bobby don't say nothing about his workouts. Bobby knows everything and Bobby tells nothing. So I couldn't even give you a clue. I wish I had an idea, but whatever Bobby got going on, you can't say nothing to Bobby now. And this is why I said earlier on in the year, if Sydney says she want to run the 15, everybody shut up. Let her do it. Sydney said she want to run the 8. Shut up. Let her do it. If Sydney McLaughlin want to go throw the javelin, shut up and let her do it.
In the grand scheme of things, I know this is the 5th time that Sydney McLaughlin Levrone breaks the 400-meter hurdles world record. What's the next thing that she could do to shock you in this particular event? Because now, we were trying to hype up ourselves for Femke versus Sydney, but it's just like a clear favorite now for Sydney. So what would need to happen to excite you, Eric?
I mean, what, sub 50?
Yeah.
I mean, she's just so good every single time she's on the track. It seems like it's Sydney just versus herself out there. I don't know, I don't know what she could possibly do to make us more excited. Every race is spectacular. She's a fan favorite out there. You hear the applause she gets. They chose the right. I mean, do they choose the? Was she the last race at Hayward for a reason? Is it because she is the biggest name in the game right now, and they want to end it on the high note?
Yeah.
That's why, right?
Yeah, it's the TV schedule kind of, plays around with that. And I think the Olympic schedule is also sort of built around stuff like that. I don't think she closes out the Olympics because they do the 4x4 there. So she's a couple days before. She's kind of toying around with the idea here. You have to the Allyson Felix schedule kind of alteration and all that kind of stuff. I want to see a crazy Sydney double. This was not the year for it. She's going all in on the 400 hurdles, and it's no contest at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's physically possible if she wanted to. If they move the schedule around, for sure. But, assuming they ever move the schedule around, I think it's possible because Femke races way more than Sydney does. And Femke be going after them gold medals, okay? She be in every race. She be in the mixed 4x4. She be in the open 4x4. She be in the 400 hurdles. That girl will go through a major championship and run about 6 races and pop you out a 49, a 48, and a 51 every single time. So I don't think that it's not physically possible. If anybody has shown that it's physically possible to do it, it is Femke Bol. And so I believe that if they give Sydney the opportunity to achieve that, then she will definitely be able to do so.
All right. That was an incredible race. I think, I'm just curious, how we top that in Paris. I know, it's this is where we get greedy, where we should just cherish the fact that we're living in one of the greatest of all times, peak and prime.
And not to mention,
and I don't even know if we're at the peak.
We be talking about this, why we focus on time all the time? Let's enjoy an exciting race. Let's see.
But that's the problem. I don't think there's going to be a race in Paris.
No, it doesn't. Okay, but there can be different points in the race where the race gets interesting. Okay, cool. We know Sydney crossing the line first, but let's say Anna Cockrell decides exactly. Let's say Anna Cockrell is look, I know I maybe can't get 50, but I'm gonna work with Sydney for these first 5 hurdles and see what I can give her. That's something to talk about. Because here's the thing, every time Sydney runs the world record, she's obviously the first one over the hurdles. Imagine if somebody is no, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to beat her over these hurdles. Maybe they die. Cool, whatever. But now we got a story about an athlete who had enough balls to make Sydney work for whatever she got. Like, that's a story. Like, even if Sydney goes and wins the Olympics in a 52, I don't care. I want to see a race. I want to see excitement, and that doesn't have to be all the way around the track.
All right, you convinced me, Caitlin. I'm with you on that now after that. All right, men's 400-meter hurdles. Rai Benjamin did his thing. World lead, meet record, 46.46. That's what he's taking, in the build-up toward the Paris Olympics. A statement win that puts him at the top right now among the three heavy hitters between him, Carson Warholm, and Alison Dos Santos. This was remarkable.
Here's my sad take. I wanted Caleb Dean on that team so bad. Like, literally the second fastest ever NCAA. Like, the only person better than him is Rai Benjamin in NCAA history. Like, and we see what Rai Benjamin does. Like, he's that man. So I'm like, okay, Caleb is sure on this team, but, like, he fell. Like, I don't know what it was, if he cramped up, if the rhythm just wasn't there. But, like, literally, he was one of the favorites. I don't care what nobody else got to say. Caleb Dean should have been one of the shoo-ins for this team, and it's very unfortunate that he ended up taking a stumble across one of the hurdles and was not able to make his dreams come true. Like, literally, one of his old coaches from high school, actually, the Archbishop Carroll coach, he came out here. Coach Vic was out here cheering for him. They literally did a whole thing for him yesterday. Like, they went to his hotel, was, like, hyping him up, posted a video about it, and it's really unfortunate happen, but it's okay. I know Coach Vic is going to take care of Caleb, and that's going to be okay. But to get into CJ and Trevor, I am proud of them. I am so freaking proud of them, because if it wasn't going to be Caleb on that team, I am so comfortable with CJ and Trevor going out there and making it happen. CJ, to start with first, I mean, I'm one of his biggest fans now, because my brother not like trained alongside him, but like he was there like when CJ in practice, and like I literally called my brother. I was like, I know you want to talk to CJ. So, like, him and CJ was talking for a little minute, and it was just so amazing to see CJ, like, make it happen. And then Trevor, y'all know we big T-Bass fans around here. We've been T-Bass fans since he was at Ashland, made the world team, came out here to Budapest, like, getting medal. Like, we have always been Trevor Bassett fans, and I'm so excited to see him honestly take that opportunity, because Chris Robinson was giving him some run for that money on that stretch, but I don't know why Trevor Bassett is built as long as he is, but it was to his advantage, because that boy took one extra step and he beat Chris Robinson at the line to make his first Olympic team. And the only thing I have to say after this is I don't understand why Freddie and Trevor don't have sponsorships at this point. Like, y'all have made world teams, several at this point now. Y'all have made Olympic teams. Trevor actually has a world champion, not a world champion, but like has a world medal. Like, I don't understand why these two are like they don't have anything. Like, it's not clicking for me.
Yeah, it's like Trevor Bassett. This has been what he's been building up towards like for the last couple of years. He did say a funny quote in the mix zone where he was just like, death, taxes, Trevor Bassett making U.S. teams. And I was like, I love that. Like, because he has made a habit of this, and that's a good habit to have.
Just making it.
Kudos to the Bandit Unsponsored Project for, like, throwing some support behind him for here. But, like, get this man a contract. Yeah.
Like,
he's
what more do you
it.
want out of a world medalist and Olympian? Like, Like, what else do you want? Like, do he got to break the world record? But, like, I feel like you shouldn't need to have somebody break the world record to give them a contract. Not to mention, you down there training with all the Florida kids. All the Florida kids got contracts. Somebody get this man right.
All right, let's talk about the brilliance, though, of Rai Benjamin, because we kind of, like, overlooked that a little bit. Like, for him to execute this race plan, I'm looking at it. I was pointing at those splits of it, hurdle 5, 6, 7, 8 needed to be under 4. He nailed it for 5, 6, 7, and then at 8 is when he went 4.06 at the touchdown point, and 4.33 at 9. So he was definitely like, grinding it out there toward the finish line. But this is tracking in the right direction. Like, if the hurdle 8 is the only one that he's really got to work on, then he'll be in shape by Paris, I think, to break the world record. I mean, it's just now you have to wonder, like,
what is the world record?
The world record is
the man that fights bears.
45.94 by Carson Warholm.
Yes, the man who fights bears.
Yeah, and the American record is 46.17 by Rai in that same race. So
because didn't they both go under the world record in that race? Yep.
It's been just sort of like the narrative, an arc that was just so painstaking for Rye. It was just making it that far, breaking the world record, and then just the pure coincidence that someone else broke the world record on that same day. And he's, similar to, we had a conversation with Grant Holloway earlier today. You have to bury that ghost, and for him, the only way you could do that is by winning gold, I guess, in Paris.
I would hope, because after we have talked to Delilah and stuff, and how she's talked about how sometimes she didn't really relish in the moment and appreciate some of the bigger moments that she had, being one of the major changes of the women's 400-meter hurdles. I hope that whenever Ride decides to end his career, that he doesn't sit there and be but darn, I got silver every single time, and darn, I wasn't the one who had the world record right next to my name. Because at the end of the day, getting to this level and achieving those things is wanted by many, and only few can do it. And he's somebody who has taken every opportunity that he's had and put his best foot forward, and has literally changed his history, track and field history, and has done so many things. And so I am hoping that he does end up getting gold in Paris. I want him to have a gold medal around his neck. But if that doesn't ever end up happening in his career, I would hate for him to be reminiscent and be dang, but why wasn't I appreciative enough of the fact that I got silver medals, and I gave Carson Warholm a run for his money. I am Ryan Benjamin. I am the NCAA record holder. So, I just don't want athletes or other people to be but dang, you don't have this or you don't have that. And it's but everything else that they've ever done, literally can't be accomplished by other people.
Right. What you're saying is, I think, echoing even what you said before. We want races. We want to see people out there competing. We want competitors. We want athletes. Times are great. Records are great. Medals are great. But at the end of the day, seeing truly just human bodies competing against human bodies to see, who prevails, I think is the test of time, what we want to see as spectators. And I think, that's what we're going to see.
Let's shift gears here to the women's 100-meter hurdles final.
You know what, Chris?
You were right.
Tell him.
Can you say it one more time?
You were right.
Okay. Thank you. I might not have gotten all of the top 3 correct, but I did say what I said. And like I said, okay, so look, if y'all wasn't listening last night, I told Chris that in the top 3 to 5 chances of possibilities, there is a possibility that the 3 women that we take to Paris are going to be youngins. Not that I am actively wishing that Nia and Kenny don't make the team. Those are literally some of the GOATs of American 100-meter hurdle racing, okay? Every time when we talk about the conversation of this event, those 2 are always in the mix, especially after what Nia did last year, having such a rough season, and then making that team. I'm pretty sure she ended up winning last year, too, at USA's. It's not that I ever want to count them out, but I was going based off of what we were seeing in the semis and in the prelims. No, specifically the semis. You had 3 girls, 1:12:36, and then in the prelims, Masai Russell, Lay, and Tonia, they were just putting up times where they were just I can't leave nothing up to chance. Lay specifically has been working on this opportunity to make teams get medals for so long. She's dealing with her health issues, on top of the fact that she don't have a major shoe contract, and the fact that people just don't think that she's worthy to be at this level, which sucks. Then you've got Masai Russell, made the Team USA's last year. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get her rhythm right when she was in the semis or the prelims at the World Championships. Talked about it after the race and said, listen, me and Coach Green, we work on speed all the time, and as somebody who be there, yes, they do. And learning about speed and learning your new rhythm when you're getting so much power behind you, you got to learn how to deal with it, and she learned how to deal with it, and she wanted to put those races together today. Now, for me, Tonia Marshall was the other individual where I was okay, that might end up being our top 3, because Tonia, she laid the foot down, put the hammer down in the semis and the prelims, and I'm okay, she finally put it together. She has been inching away at doing this for so long, all season, not to mention her teammates, TT, Sha'Carri, Melissa, all of them making a team. This was her moment. But then Grace Stark was you know what, guys? I do have a walking testimony that I would like to share with you all. And as somebody who had 2 surgeries and broke her leg, I'm about to make this team. Grace Stark has been running 12.5 and 12.4 all season. It ain't slow, but it's like I told Chris, if you want to make this team, you're going to have to run 12.3. And even if you run 12.3, you're not going to make this team. And Grace Stark was like, all right, bro, I hear you. I'm listening. Let me put my foot down. And that girl came back after 2 very rough seasons of getting back to where she was previously and topping that on top of signing a professional contract and said, I'm taking this 3rd place spot. And then kudos to Masai and Lay. Lay took it out. When we was talking to Lay in the contest zone, she's like, yo, I'm in the middle of this race. And I'm like, dang, like, they running. She said, if I don't get my together, like, I'm going to be at home. And so Lay was like, nah, bro, I got to put it down. And Masai Russell was like, hey, babe, I'm here. You got to worry about me. Masai took it to the line. Lay stayed with her, but Masai's time, 12:25, meet record, personal best, what, top 4 all time of the times ever in the 100-meter hurdles? Babe, she just turned pro this year. She is a freshly signed Nike athlete, and that is a testimony as well because, as I said, literally 2 months ago, she's on TikTok, and she's like, y'all, being a professional athlete your first year out is difficult. This is hard. I am facing things. I am dealing with things that I don't want to wish on nobody who wishes to pursue this dream. And she's like, you know what? Let me show what my testimony is too. And then, like I said, proud of Lay because she has been counted out every single time. And here we go with 3 walking testimonies and miracles sitting in front of our eyes. So
she broke a Gail Devers meet record.
Gail Devers. Who is that? Devers.
Okay.
Oh my God! Like, babe. Masai Russell. I mean, we know the best hurdlers come out of Kentucky. Considering Sydney McLaughlin Levrone is the world record holder. Considering Kenny Harris used to be the world record holder. Considering Jasmine Camacho Quinn, did she win the Olympic gold or she got silver? She is the Olympic gold medalist. And now Masai Russell. Talk to us nice.
Amen. I can keep repeating it and saying it. You were so right. Like, the fact that it was like 12.3 would if you ran 12.39, you would have been 6th in this race.
I told you 12.3, and I said the winning time is gonna run 12.2. I said it. I told Chris. Chris, don't listen to me.
I never said you were wrong.
Chris was skeptical. Very skeptical.
You can roll back the tape. Like, there's nothing that expressed that.
The skeptical energy and aura. The skeptical energy and aura was like pouring through the mic.
All right.
You could feel it. You could feel that.
All right. If that's what fuels you to have even more accurate predictions, then I will be a skeptic toward any of your
Panda Chris being a skeptic. Just
okay,
so
okay. Now what you need to do is side with the Jamaicans about the women's 100, and then guess what's gonna happen? They're all gonna make the podium.
Oh, might just have to join my brothers and sisters in Kingston. All right, this race is amazing. I think like every single Olympics, every single World Championships, we roll into it very much thinking like we can sweep the medals. Like that's just like tradition with the women's 100-meter hurdles in the United States. Like I'm looking at this team, I'm like, yeah, there's the French woman, there's Jasmine Camacho Quinn, there's Toby Amusan, but
here's the thing.
I'll take our 3.
Here's the thing though. What y'all not? What we need to focus on is the possibility of the world record going down again. And I say this because one, Toby is the world record holder. Toby been trying to, you know what I'm saying? She's trying to come back. She wants the world record. She wants to keep the world record, okay? But then here's the other thing, okay? Coach Green already coaches a world record holder who has been training with Masai for the past 6 years. Okay, Devin Charlton is the indoor 60-meter hurdle world record holder, and baby, she put that time in the dirt. Okay, then if you take that plus training with your training partner who's now run 12:25, which is one of the fastest times all time, you put both of them together alongside Toby. I would love to see a sub 12. If it doesn't happen, it's okay.
Wow.
I would love
12.
It could be $11.99.
Hey, weren't you just telling me like, well, let's stop focusing on times. Let's just
No, you didn't hear the other half of my sentence. I said if it doesn't happen, that's fine because regardless, you low-key might run 12-2 and still might not make that podium.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a good race. But what I'm saying is like, if all of these women are primed at the right time, honestly, like $11.99 could be in the future. I would love to see. If it don't happen, that's fine. But I don't know. Like I said, Coach Green, listen, let me tell you this. when Devin broke the world record, literally in practice the week before, he calls Alexis Glasgow, Masai Russell, and Devin Charleston to the circle. We all confused because we in the middle of the workout. But he's like, Devin, Masai, Alex, y'all can win the world record. Y'all can win the world record. One of y'all is gonna break the world record. And we sitting here like, yeah, coach, like, talk him up. Devin Charleston, less than a week later, broke that world record for the first time. He literally called it in practice. So if he's speaking that to all three of his ladies, and Masai is running 12:25, I'm just saying the man might be he might got a crystal ball.
Yeah. What else is he saying?
I don't know what he's saying, but I do know that he really likes Wendy's.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He loves a good Baconator. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? That does it for the sprints, Caitlin. You want to stick around for one more? I feel
Come
like.
on.
What's
the 1500
Come on.
meter final.
Come on, Caitlin.
No.
I saw.
We
Hold
need
on.
Sam to talk.
I don't think Sam's ever
Well,
made an
hold on.
appearance on the podcast, but like, let's
That's
share
your
your
like
thoughts.
idea.
I was going to say really quick, Caitlin, you did a really nice Instagram, Q&A this past week, and one of your fans said, we would love to hear you comment on some distance races. So I think for the love of the fans, you got to stay here.
Okay. I'll stay for the 15, and then I feel like y'all should get Sam up here. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing, right? I'm watching this race, and as y'all have told me, and as I've seen before, Elle St. Pierre is like the one to beat. She run 3:56. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess I'm going to pick Ellie to make this team because you can't bet against the mama. Then I was also remembering what David said in the group chat or on Twitter a couple months ago. He was like, calling it right now, Emily Mackey's making the team. And I'm like, whoa, okay, I don't really know too much about the girl, but shoot, if that's your pick, I'm going to go for it too. Then, mind you, I've always been a Nikki fan. Are you a Nikki fan? Do you know your Nikki, baby? Listen.
Am I a Nikki fan?
Am I a Nikki fan? I am a Nikki fan. And so here's the thing. Like, when we're looking at times and on paper, it was like, okay, if Nikki would like to make this team, they are going to have to work for it because Nikki has been under 4 before. They've ran 3:59 something.
But just at pre-classic.
I know.
Very recently.
Yes, ran 3:59. I'm like, okay, boo, I've always been your biggest fan. So you getting me revved up. But like I said, when you've got Ellie running 3 seconds faster than you still, It's like, you're going to have to put in some work.
Right. And we not only saw Ellie, run faster before at pre, but Ellie's coming off a 5K prelim and 5K race. And so I think what we are seeing is Ellie on tired legs. But we saw her do what she does best. And she went straight to the front. And I think she made it an honest race. They took it out in a 61. I think they went through in 205, 206. Sinclair Johnson, I want to give a shout out to her. She was right there in second. I would think for most of the race, maybe up until 200 to go, she was right there. She really gave it her all out. I think no one would suspect that it was going to take, sub 3:57 to make this team.
And here's the crazy part about it, right? So I'm watching the race, and there's so much like movement going on. It's like Emily the entire time was like, y'all can't leave me out of this race. Like, she would fall back a little bit, and then she'd be like, nah, y'all can't leave me out the way. Like, you literally just watching her face and her form, and I'm like, it's okay, just breathe. It's gonna be all right. But I wouldn't breathe either. I'd be freaking out. Then you've got Nikki. Nikki was stressing me out because we know what happens when you get boxed in races like this. So Nikki chilling on the rail. I'm like, Nikki, if you don't get out that box, me and you gonna have to box. All right? So look, I think I closed my eyes for like 2 seconds. Nikki ends up getting out the box, and it's like, all right, I'm going to do what I know how to do best. It's kick it and make y'all work for this. Ellie moving around. Emily saying, y'all not going to leave me, and it's just a race to the finish line. Nikki Hiltz said, hello, America. Welcome me because I am here. I'm going to be a USA champion again, and I am going to go to the Olympics, and y'all ain't got no choice but to love me. And what did she do? What did they do? My bad. What did they do? Came to the line, 3:55. But then the problem with them, they wasn't the only one that ran 3:55.
Let's pour over the results.
Let's look over.
Nikki Hiltz, 3:55.33.
Yeah.
Emily MacKay, 3:55.90 PB. Elle St. Pierre, 3:55.99 PB. Fourth place, Sinclair Johnson, 3:56.75 PB. Fifth place, Corey McGee, first time under 4 minutes, 3:57.44 PB. Sixth place, Elise Cranny, 3:57.87 PB. 7th place, Heather McLean, 358.31 PB. 8th place, Helen Schlachtenhofen, 359.71 PB.
Wow.
And then from there, there was a little bit of a gap, but we saw 8 athletes break 4 minutes, and
Nikki is a leader in the 1500.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, incredible. My question for you, and Chris, I think maybe you'll have some insight to this, is the big question here is Elle St. Pierre, Ellie is entered in 2 different races. Yeah. Where do we think she's going to go with this? Because this is contingent upon a lot of other athletes either celebrating that they went through all of that, USATF certification here, or through the Olympic team processing, and then not.
I think she's going to go with the one she got the best medal chances at. And
which is the 1500.
Okay, right. Because somebody on Twitter was like, does America have a chance at getting a medal? Yes. I know Faith Kipyegon, Faith is on a whole different planet. But the other 2 spots, we've got 3 athletes who could just rip it wide open.
Yeah. So I did a little reporting.
Okay. What did you find?
I went and I spoke to Coach Mark Coogan, Team New Balance coach, good friend of the pod. And Mark said, I said to him, well, you obviously haven't seen Ellie and talked about this at length yet, but what's your thinking right now? And he said, we're leaning toward only running the 1500.
Yeah!
So what this does, again, let me go into my magic world rankings mode and everything, is... We did this the other day. So Ellie will scratch from the 5K, meaning that Parker Valby moves up from 4 to 3 and gets that spot. And so now Parker Valby can either double with the 5K or the 10K at the Olympics, or scratch and just do the... I'm losing my thought.
Is that Ellie across the street?
Only do the 5K.
Hi, Ellie.
Yeah,
bye, Ellie.
Oh,
that's funny.
Ellie.
We love you, Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie.
I knew
All right,
we needed
guys, you're
Caitlin to
disturbing
do
my
it.
thoughts
I'm
here.
sorry. A lot just happened for everyone. There was a beer that was
We're about
spilled.
to get a Zamboni
Mitch wanted me
through
to
the floor.
Zamboni. Ellie St. spotted on the corner. Chris somehow is prevailing through all of this. Chris, please keep enlightening
Chris.
us.
Yeah,
Please.
so now Parker has the option to double at the Olympics or scratch and just commit to one event. If Parker commits to just the 5K, that 10K spot likely goes to Amanda Vestry, who has the world rankings points, or is in the world rankings quota, and can move into and would move into that 3rd spot. Jess McLean, who finished 4th, doesn't have enough in the rankings quota to make it within there to be selected.
Oh man.
And then if Parker only chooses to do the 10K, that means the 5K spot would go to Whitney Orton Morgan, who finished 5th. So that is where we stand right now. I think we have a couple hours. I got a text from Hobbs Kessler saying he does intend to do the double. We'll get to that 800 in just a second.
That was fun.
So, yeah, there's still lots happening. The relay pool just is starting to trickle out.
Where?
So we can inform you that
Josh Awatunde is on the 4x1.
Bella Whitaker named to the team. So both
they put you big.
Yeah. So that means that Juliet and Bella the sisters will be on the same team. Quincy Wilson just posted that he will be going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Wow.
So Quincy Wilson literally just posted, we
Chris,
going to the Olympics.
I was going to say, are you guys on texting terms?
Chris, did that not want to make you cry?
That Quincy Wilson got named to the team?
Yeah. You've been following Quincy for a while.
Oh my God.
You were on Quincy before everyone else was on
That's
Quincy.
little cousin. Come on now.
I can't say I was. Mac and I were there from the very get-go.
Mac and you were
so,
on Quincy then
do we
before
feel like
everyone
proud
else.
parents? Yeah, we feel like proud
Who's
parents.
mom and dad?
Mac's
dad.
mom.
Oh.
There you go, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris.
All right.
All right. So that's where we stand right now.
Quincy really going?
Yeah, Quincy Wilson is going to the Olympics at 16 years old.
Caitlin, are you crying?
I'm not not gonna cry.
Let's
It's
cry.
okay if it's
Great,
okay
well,
if
let
you
it
cry.
out.
I'm not gonna cry.
Is the sun in your
Aaron
eyes?
got shamed the other day for crying, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a beautiful thing.
He's
Like
so
16.
cousin.
You cried?
I was shedding
He's the
tears for
youngest-
Jasmine Moore on the. I think it was a triple jump.
He's the youngest person to do the 4x4 since 1976.
I pulled that stat.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't see your tweet though.
there's a
It was
stat-off
on
going
the
here.
graphic.
Oh no, it was on the Yo, okay, maybe I did take it from you.
Yeah.
Okay, but wait.
should box
If
it
he
out.
puts it, if they only decide to put him on the mixed, that kid is making history.
Yeah, of course. The
kid's
youngest in history.
He's gonna be the youngest in history.
Okay, you want to know the history? If he makes he didn't make the 400-meter team individually, so I can disregard that stat. If he makes the 4x4 relay team, he'd be the youngest person in the world to run that race at the Olympics since 1976. So that's
Well done,
Wow.
Quince.
it's been a while. Quincy Wilson going to the Olympic Games. Let's get back to that 1500.
Big Willow.
Because it was just epic. I think like coming into the day, I started having second thoughts last night, thinking more about this race. I was thinking just so much about it that like I thought that all this talk about 357 will make the team or it's sub 4 guaranteed, that it was all going to be a bluff, that like it was going to be slow and come down to a kicker's race, which in the end, I'm looking at who finished in the top three.
I mean, that was
even
still
if
a
it was
kick race.
slow and came down to kicker's race, I do
Yeah.
think it's this top three.
See, but I think it's the unsportsmanlike conduct violation that Ellie got. I really do think that was the blessing in disguise, because I think that made Ellie get out of danger, straight to the front, run her race. I think
Run her way
of
Nice.
all shapes and stride
good
lengths
slogan.
and everything.
Nice.
Right, Mitch?
Well,
Mitch.
why is no one how come when I get things wrong, people are like, "Oh, Mitch, you were so wrong. You're an idiot."
What?
I've been saying for days that Nikki Hiltz was going to win this thing convincingly, and there she was on that outside. There they were. Apologies, Nikki. There they were on the outside shoulder. I was with you. I was getting stressed on the rail. I was thinking
Because they
Nikki,
didn't
You
move.
need to get
Nikki
out.
didn't move.
You need to get out and get moving. And didn't they move? I mean,
I told you.
they were so pumped in the mix zone as well afterwards. Cameras everywhere, people everywhere. And the message was actually pretty cool. They basically said, "Doubt me now. I'm the two-time champ back to back. Doubt me now." What are they going to say?
What they put on Ellie and Emily in the last, just even few strides. That was incredible. I think what we saw, what was that, a 4-second PB for Nikki? I mean, that was
Yes.
unreal.
Nikki was like, hey y'all, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna show y'all I'm not just a kicker. But the crazy
Right.
part is, y'all was saying like, oh well, if it's slow, they're just gonna end up kicking, yada
Yeah.
yada yada. But like, Nikki still kicked though, and that race was fast.
I think what we saw was Nikki play the long game. I think they were like pre-classic who? Pre-classic who? I'm coming into the trials, tapered, fit, ready to go, about to cross that line and get that victory.
Not gonna lie, like you running 355 and like you still got a kick like that, you're strong. Like I'm scared of you. They actually are strong because they be posting the weightlifting videos. They was like, this is the strongest I've ever felt. I'm like, Nikki, me and you
It's a
gonna have to
flex.
lift together,
That's a
okay?
flex.
Okay,
I'll
can
spot
get
you.
I can get Nikki to deadlift 350 pounds. Bet I can.
So I guess to go deeper down the list, you had the top 8 all under 4. You had Corey McGee break 4 for the first time.
Like
was
3
happy in the
seconds,
mix
yeah.
zone. Did
Yeah.
you see that? Watch her post race interview. She is ecstatic. I've never seen someone, get 5th place and be so happy with a
Yeah.
3-second PR.
It's a historic race. Nikki's time's also the second fastest ever by an American. The one I
They didn't
felt
get the
so-
record?
So, it was heartbreaking to interview her with Sinclair Johnson.
Yeah, that was
and, she was
heartbreaking.
talking like, I've been 4th so many times. I've overcome all these injuries. And if you were to say to someone at the start of the year, hey, you're going to run 356.7 at the trials, you'd go, I'm eating baguettes. I mean, Paris is the best shit ever. It's like,
Bonjour.
you're actually going to be 4th. I don't think there's a person in this world that'll go, that makes sense. I'm with that
Would
guy.
would
I'm
you
rocking with that guy.
rather would you
He's
rather
onto
run
it,
the
that
PB
guy.
or would you rather go to the
Olympics every day of the week.
Of course.
I reckon.
Yeah.
But still to run 356.7 to be one of the best in American history is quite amazing. And I mean, shout out to Ellie. Maybe it was the silly violation that she got in the semifinals that
The
pushed her to the
125.9.
front. But if you're going to run 45 seconds,
Wait.
you're confident through the first 3, are you not? 45 seconds, and it was like, come along. Bring the
Did
fight. He's getting
Ellie-
the deep end.
Did Ellie get the
what do you have
125
to say?
again?
Can I get a damn microphone over here?
Do you want here?
I'm like, this is awkward as hell.
There you go.
I'm sitting back here. I'm like, do you guys want me here? Jesus Christ.
You want my seat?
No, I want you sitting
I
down.
want you here.
I want you here.
Say.
Sit your ass down, Caitlin.
Wow. Wow.
Jeez. I was about to leave. I go, okay, this is weird. Sitting in the back, I almost ducked under the table.
Let Eric Jenkins talk.
This is the race of the meet. It was insane. I mean, it was so good. I mean, we just talked about the fact that 8 or 9 that went sub 4, unbelievable. Nikki ran tactically an incredible race up until you tactically couldn't run a better race than Nikki did today, and Nikki was still boxed in and had to cut very wide,
100
not
to go.
ideal. With even less, I think it was like 60 meters to go.
I mean, them and Emily, that's why, like, when I was watching, like, the both of them race, I'm like, what's going on? Because when Nikki came out the box, like you were saying, they had to swing, like, really, really wide. But that's why it was crazy to watch Emily, too, because, like I said, Emily's like, you're not about to leave me. And Emily was literally on the outside for, like, so much of that race. And I'm like, are you tired? It don't matter, because at least you ran 3:55 and you're going to Paris.
And I was thinking, like Heather McLean also tactically ran a very good race, 400 to go right up on the shoulder of Ellie, and just fade. And when you say she faded, but she faded to a 3:58. Like me and Mac were in the stands talking. Like, there's a great chance you will never see another race on the American scene like this.
Never again.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
After watching it, I was like, I need a bit of a break. It was so like I need let's not go right to another race. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm emotionally drained right now. Unreal, and to see Ellie just pulling from the front, from the gun, out in 45. Like, there's a lot of guys that would have just been off the back, dropped, gone,
wheeling them off.
Like, okay. I'm hoping they come back. I hope they come back. I mean, I'm gutted for Sinclair I've been where she's been, like 4th place, brutal spot to be in. But when you see 3:56, like what, and she tactically ran incredibly. She was right on Ellie, right from the gun, like sitting right on her shoulder. She knew that Ellie was the one to key off of. And like, what else can you do in that position? Like,
that's
what
she
can
said.
you do?
She's like, what else could I have possibly done?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing else you could have possibly done to get on that team. Like, that all-out last 200-meter assault was like, oh my god, anyone can get through here. And it was, oh my god. I'm gonna be honest, Karen. When I was watching that race, I thought, I see 3 New Balance training partners at the front, and I'm thinking, I just watched Woody Kincaid get to the front of the race. So I'm thinking,
Karen's at it again.
I made some
Karen
calls.
knows something. And then Nikki went bang, and then I went, no, I know something. But hey, you were damn close to calling that to perfection.
It
I mean,
was close.
Like you said, like on paper, it's like, oh, they faded. 359, 358,
Right.
Faded into greatness.
Hell of a
They
fade.
faded into greatness.
Hell of a fade.
I think what we saw too from Heather was, Heather had a rough buildup. I think they had to take a few weeks off. They had hiccups. I think what you saw, honestly, Heather, look back at the tape. With 100 to go, she doesn't fade until the very end. She gives it her all. And with someone who is coming into this not as sharp, I think we still have, a ceiling to reach for her, because she hung in there, having not even probably been as close as tapered or sharp as some of these other girls.
Okay, with all these PRs, right? What does this say about the future and the ceiling of the American women's 1500?
Yeah. This
Hell
team,
of a question, Chris.
This team is strong, and like I think that they're gonna have a stronghold for the next couple of years. The other thing that's really interesting too is that maybe 1 or 2 of them don't give this a go, like fully through the next Olympic cycle, right? Like I'm looking at the names here. Most of them are going to be contenders for years to come, and the fact that it took 3:55, like that's assurance. It's like, all right, like everyone's gonna have to level it up.
I mean, I'm looking at athletes like Corey McGee. I mean, this is her first time under 4. She beat her PB by what? Over 3 seconds.
Yeah.
3 seconds for 5th. I mean, like we said, like what more could an athlete like Corey do? I mean, it's unbelievable. Elise Cranny. It's this event is just so stacked. Right up there with the women's 110 hurdles for the hardest team in the whole trials, men or women, to make. All of these athletes are going to go to Paris battling for medals. Depending on what Ellie decides to race in, like Nikki has to take you after a race like this with the way that Nikki ran it. I mean, you have got to be over the moon and just medals on the mind now.
Yeah, I think everyone who made the team has the right to dream about a medal.
At least the right to dream.
Do you? Okay, with the way that Nikki, Emily, and Ellie race, like, do you think they could like PR some more?
Oh.
Like, or team tactics, or like, I don't know, like I would love to see all of them drop like another second or two, like if it's possible.
Yeah,
and we were talking about Ellie looking slightly tired coming into this race. She has had a lot of races under the legs. She didn't win her last semi, and we thought, okay, maybe she's a bit run down. Like, and then she goes and pulls a sub 356 from the front the whole time in these conditions. I think you posted about Coogan saying that she's in 353 shape or faster. 353.
If you give her someone to chase, Faith Kipyegon's a perfect person to chase.
Like that's not a very bold thing for him to say. Anybody sees this race and says, that's absolutely doable. And when you've got that type of fitness, of course you're going to be thinking about medals.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all making the final without a doubt. And I guess that's the great thing about women's middle distance racing in the world right now is that and they always talk about all you need is a shot. But there's some events where it's like, well, you're probably not going to get up to that gold medal or that medal. Genuinely, in the women's 1500, it's like, oh no, all you need is to get into that final, and you can make a justification for a variety of different women to potentially win a gold medal. Now, obviously, time-wise, yes, there's people that are stronger.
Right.
I just tend to think that if you can get into this tactically, all 3 athletes here showed that tactically they are sharp, tactically they can run fast, tactically really anything can happen in Paris.
And I'm thinking, like Emily, I think it was like Emily with 400 to go. It didn't really look like she was right there. She wasn't that. She certainly wasn't right up there on the bell. Made a huge move to put herself back in contention. And it was also interesting. Like the top 3 had a gap. Like we're looking, that's just over 0.75 of it, 3/4 of a second. Like. That's a pretty. I mean, in 1500 meter terms, that's a bit of a gap.
It's a healthy margin.
It's a healthy margin. I mean, just an unbelievable race from all these athletes. But I mean, the team that you're sending is just unbelievable.
So you got it here, Chris?
I just pulled up the race with 2 laps to go.
And Nikki, 2 laps to go.
Running
She's
wide.
not hugging they're not hugging the rail. I mean,
there's some nervous points here, I feel like, because you're sort of thinking like, all right, who actually look at Sinclair. You could argue that Sinclair tactically ran one of the best races in this field.
And to Eric's point, I mean, look exactly where Emily is.
In the final line.
Look at the. Can you go back a second, Chris?
Yeah.
You knew with about 150 to go that Nikki had all the momentum, was in the perfect spot.
At least Cranny is elite, and look at this gap. Oh my God! These women were just in a new stratosphere.
Once I saw Nikki like start to make the move, I was like, "Oh, y'all are the F word. Like y'all are screwed." Because
is this where you thought, is Karen?
Like,
I'm like, holy shit!
Karen's back at it.
I mean, look, once Nikki moved, like time and time again, every time we've seen Nikki move up in a race, they never leave that race without getting what they came for.
Look at that move. That was sharp.
Like, come
Almost
on.
lane 3, Nikki goes.
Nikki was like, I don't care if I got to run 10 extra meters, babes. I'm going to get to the line first.
It's such a sharp step out. And it's really, It's so hard to do that at the end of a race that's this fast that's this high pressure. There's so much stakes on the line.
Like, look at him.
Nikki has to take Nikki didn't just.
Look at their face.
It wasn't an easy step out. It was a really hard.
sharp.
Yeah.
It's a sharp Nikki didn't just step diagonally or past. It was a 90-degree lateral step.
Yeah.
It was unreal. I mean, you can't overstate how exciting this race was.
What we're seeing here is a perfect setup for Paris. We've got Nikki, who's just tapping their potential here. What we're seeing, we've got Elle, who's going to be fresh. I am so excited for that showdown come Paris.
Am I a 1,500-meter expert now?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all because of Nikki. I literally told Nikki to their face, I was like, you're literally the reason why I pay attention to the 1,500 now. Because beforehand, I was like, wow, y'all moving. But I don't know, something about Nikki just get me. All right, let's go.
Square up.
Sprinting.
You did say you were going to punch them in the face, or what did you say?
I didn't say I was going to punch them in the face. I said
couldn't
if
get out
they...
of the box, you were gonna box.
Yes,
on.
that's what I
Where?
said.
In their face.
Body shots only.
Bow, bow, bow.
Liver shots.
No!
All right, let's move on to the men's 800.
Do I have,
Kinda close it
do
out.
I have enough expertise for the men's 800?
Oh, of course.
Tell 'em.
Yes. I was gonna swear really loud, but I didn't.
Oh, no.
Proud of that.
All right, men's 800. All eyes are on Bryce Hoppel to try and make this thing crazy fast.
First of all, 142.
142.77 personal best meet record. Like,
Here's the thing.
yeah, you were on this one, Mitch. What made you what stood out about Bryce's round that you thought, okay, this is coming?
He was untouchable. And the thing that I love the most about Bryce is that, and we talked about it in the post-race interview, he called his shot so early. So before he was even in the final, he's like, hey, when we get to that final, buckle up, fellas. It's going to be rough as hell, and you're going to want to do your best to stay safe because I'm absolutely gunning for it. And that's exactly what he did. He went straight. If you look at these splits, he's in front pretty well the entire race. He got challenged on that back straight coming into the final 200. He dug deep. He kept him on his outside shoulder. It was Brandon Miller who started to move, and you're like, oh shit, maybe Brandon gets to the rail.
Don't play with Mr. Miller.
Hey, I wasn't playing with Mr. Miller. I was spruiking Mr. Miller this morning. Yeah, and I said, these two guys are the locks. To me, it was always Bryce and Brandon, but I doubted Hobbs. And
First of all,
openly say that I thought maybe he wouldn't be there when the move was made. Hey, he made me look like a right old dickhead. He was right there when the move was made, and that was so impressive from Hobbs Kessler.
He's just so young. Like, we can't count someone like that out doubling in Paris. We've got someone as young as Hobbs, as fresh as Hobbs, someone who skipped the college scene to come and compete with the pros. We are going to see something incredible from him in Paris. He needs to double. He has to double. I think he's going to. He's fresh. He's young. He's tenacious. He's ready to go.
He's fresh. He's okay.
He's young. He's locked it in. Tell him.
Here's the thing, though.
She
like,
called the Woody lead.
Besides,
seriously, that needs to be.
No one did that.
Besides Nikki winning the 15, like, how many athletes came out here, dropped the PR that high, and made their team?
Well, I think the thing about Hobbs is just sort of like it's the double, the PR that 331 and 143.
Bryce,
two hardest.
But here's the thing though, I mean, maybe this is me being a chicken nugget, but I had him in my favorites for the 15, but I ain't have him in my favorite for the 8. I'm like, okay, you can run the 15. You the world record holder in the road mile, right?
mile.
It's okay, cool. That's your bread and butter. I'm watching him run the 8. I'm like, so is he doing that thing where athletes just run other events and then they see if they can make it and they make it and they scratch it because why not? That's what I thought was going on, but he was racing he was like, no, I want to go to Paris, I want to get medals, because his PR before coming in there was 145 something, 145 was not making that team and almost would not make it through the rounds. And obviously that was a fact because he had to race against Brandon Miller in the semis, run a 143 and be like, hey y'all, see you in the final. And I was like, okay, you might be a contender, but like, do you got it on your legs? And he was like, yeah, stop counting me out.
Well, and a question I have for you, Chris, is coming into Paris, someone like Hobbs. Talk us through, you know, just the strategy for someone like him. What's first, the 15, the 8? Do you think he's going to do both? I mean, I imagine that he will, from what we've heard.
Didn't he say he was going to do both?
He's going to do both.
He's doing both.
He said kind of yes, but kind
But you know, Chris
He's
is a
doing
reporter.
both.
He got all the inside.
He texted me at 7:34 p.m. both. And I
All
said,
right, it's
legend.
been confirmed.
Yeah.
You know, it was because I saw him and I was like, hey, when you decide, can you just text me? He goes, all right. And he did. And he just texted both.
So he's man of his word too.
Man of his word.
Yeah.
Mitch, I don't remember which one's first in the Olympic schedule.
I think too much. Why not? I think it's the 15, but I can't confirm that.
Is this not the exact Olympic schedule?
No, not exactly. I think that was the whole talk. It's similar, but not exactly. Well, in general,
He
I
should
think
do the 8 over the 15. Jesus.
just commit fully.
I mean, he just is so good.
But he's the world record holder. Why would he just completely switch events?
He's the world record holder in the road mile.
Yeah. It's a little
that's
different.
almost the same thing.
Almost, but also totally different in a lot of ways. Look, Caitlin, you're absolutely right. He should definitely do the 15. He should do both.
It's a similar distance.
Don't give up. I don't care how tired you are. You're doing both. Don't give up these spots. You made the team. You earned it. They came in fourth and they don't deserve the spot. Look, as someone who came in fourth, who gives a shit?
I care.
Yeah. Well, he earned it. He's running both. Damn it. Look, Hobbs
He
Kessler.
would not be saying this if he was in fourth spot. He would be like,
he did come in
did.
fourth
He
spot.
finished
I know. You know good and well, if you was in this race and you was fourth place, you'd be like, Hobbs, I need you to scratch. I will pay you $5,000 to scratch the
Hobbs,
race.
you got a real shot in the 15, and I just think you're not that great in the 8. Look,
Not that good.
look, let me talk to you, bud. You got a real shot in this. No, look, Hobbs.
Wait,
First off,
that's
my
Corey.
God.
Y'all want to talk to Corey?
Corey McGee's in the booth.
Hi, Corey.
Corey McGee's in the booth.
Come on.
Corey,
in.
Can I
We
say?
got-
Wait.
Corey.
Wait, don't choke.
Yeah.
3 seconds.
Wait.
I broke 4.
Congratulations!
Hey.
I just want to say, everyone, stop DMing me.
I'm so sorry.
Stop DMing me. You can do it. You can break 4. I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's over.
You didn't just break 4,
You
lady.
crushed it.
You crushed 4.
4's not in the rearview mirror. It's just the car behind you. Absolutely flogged it.
We have more
here.
people. Bring them up.
Here.
I feel like this is
New Balance. Wait, Corey, walk us. I want you to walk
Who we
us.
got?
No way.
Get them in there. Come on now. Get her in the middle. Get them in the middle. Nikki. What a night.
What a night.
Nikki, I got something to tell you.
Let's hear
Okay,
it.
please don't ever scare me like that again, because you was in that box. And Nikki, I already said it on camera. I said it to your face.
Don't go, Corey.
If you get boxed in, then I'm going to have to box you, okay? Because you was scaring me. But then I was like, whoa, nah, I know how Nikki operate. Nikki got this in the bag. Nikki gonna kick. What Nikki do? Nikki said, meow. Nikki said, meow.
Is that what you were thinking?
That was like, you're gonna have to come get me. You're gonna have to come get. Where did you find it?
I don't know, man. I mean, I was literally like, do I go in between them? Is there room? And I was like, I don't think there's room. I think you got to go wide. So then I went wide. And at that point, I was like, okay, if I have it, I have it. If not, I'm third, you know? So it was like kind of like,
But you had it though.
But I had it.
But you had it though. And now that was the wild part, because you know, we all know, like, you were sitting kick tight running. Like, if it's one thing that you got, it's the kick. Like, honestly, you need
The
to take
Nikki
up
kick.
kickboxing or karate or something, because you got the kick.
no,
But
Dallas Cowboys kick. We've been watching the cheer. Netflix
But
thing.
the crazy thing is, though, like, somebody was saying, you know, if this is a sit and kick race, Nikki got it in the bag. But here's the wild
Not
part.
a sit and kick race.
355.
Hey.
The wildest part about all of it, though, is like, even though it wasn't a sit and kick race, like, you still had the kick.
Yeah,
and then the wildest part about it is that for me, that just shows you're strong. And I was saying, you be posting them lift videos.
Right?
You be posting them lift
How's my
videos.
form?
Caitlin, what did
It
you
looks
say
good.
that Nikki could?
I
You want to get them to?
I said that I could get Nikki to deadlift 350 pounds. Just let me know. Just let me know. Come on,
I
Nikki.
don't
Just let
know
me
about
know.
that. I think my max is like 210.
Nikki, I can help you do anything in life.
I believe.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Wow.
let's
Well,
do it.
something that we said though,
You're
Nikki,
a
about you
Swiss Army
was that your race was so tactically driven and like A+ effort. Can you walk us through just the tactical moves, and was that the game plan? Not to go to the front, not to and kind of to hang back and conserve a little bit.
Yeah, I don't
If-
think
if you can conserve.
I don't think I've ever led a race in my life, so that was never the plan to go to the front. Yeah, I was just sit and kick, and I don't know. I was trying to hang out in fourth the whole race, and I actually was just like surprised that I was in fourth so quickly, and then it was about just holding your spot. But like Caitlin said, I didn't do a good job of holding my spot because I was dying.
Clearly, you weren't dying enough because you still seem very alive at the end of that race.
Thank you. No, I don't know. I mean, I knew just like get to 100 and it would be there, but that was just such a battle to get there. And like the bell rang and there was 6 people there, and we were running 3:55 pace. Like, it was crazy. But I kind of knew that was going to happen. Like, we knew this field was so stacked, so it was just kind of be patient. And then with 200 to go, I literally saw a wall of New Balance Boston in front of me. I was like, well, shit. And then, with 100 to go, like, I actually told myself all day, like, you're not allowed to think about the Olympics. Like, my previous instructions were, don't try to make an Olympic team, try to win this race. And so that's what I was trying to do.
Wow.
And then, but I told myself, you're allowed to think about Olympics the last 100. And I think that's like what got me home. Like, it was
Was it like Olympics? Oh, baby!
They started
Exactly.
counting rings. Just 1 ring, 2 ring. Oh my
Exactly
God,
what
I got it.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to begin. Like, is this the happiest day of your life?
Yeah. I mean, Emily and I were sitting on the, waiting to do the in-stadium, interview, and we're, like, sitting there, and we're like, I've never been happier, but I'm going to throw up right now. like, that was so hard, but, like, of course it's hard. Like, the past 3 years have been so hard. Just, like, running is hard. I'm like, I actually wouldn't want it any other way. Like, of course I'm going to have to PR to make this team. And, like, that was, like, exciting and fun. And, yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
You should have did 5 seconds for the 5 rings.
That would have been cool.
A question I have for you, I was just going to say, was, pre-classic coming in here. We did see the battle between you and Elle, and, we saw Elle get the victory over that. Anything you've done different, just to knock off those 4 seconds? What's been going on in the interim of the last few weeks?
I mean, I think for I really wasn't tapered at all for that race. Like, we really trained through that. Like, I did double threshold on Tuesday going into that, so I knew I was in better shape than that. But Elle, I mean, she's going to run great when she runs great when there's a rabbit and there's a fast field. Like, she's going to run fucking phenomenal in Paris because, like, it's going to be, like, quick and fast. But, like, today she had to do it alone, and that's hard. And, like, so I don't know. Does that answer your question?
Oh, more
Okay.
and above and beyond. You could have just said nothing, and I would have been like, thank you.
You could have smiled, and I would have relished in the opportunity.
Melted.
We're looking at we have the results pulled up in front of you.
Oh my gosh.
355. Like, I mean,
61 first lap.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't look at the clock.
in general, I mean, this looks unreal, insane. I
Yeah.
mean, even to you.
Yeah.
That just happened.
No, if someone had told me this morning, like someone who had a magic ball could tell the future and said, hey, Nikki, 356.7 is not going to make the
Oh my
Olympic
God.
team.
Were you listening?
You literally said that.
Like, imagine sitting someone down and telling them that. Like,
Yeah. Thank God I didn't know that.
Imagine
like, that
telling
would have freaked
Sinclair
me
Johnson that, you know.
That's insane. Oh, gosh. I mean, my heart, like I'm so happy for all these people, but it breaks, too. Like, I mean, you ran 356. Like, you did everything you possibly could. You she PR'd by, like, 2 seconds. Like, yeah, and you're fourth. Like, it's just crazy how deep this event is, and we've all had to just rise to the occasion. Like, and a huge point to Ellie. Like, Ellie is the reason we all have to, like, step up our game, and we knew it was going to be fast. And, yeah, I mean, this is honestly just sad looking at this. Like, I mean, all my friends, like, I want us to all go to Paris. But, yeah, I mean, we're sending a great team, and, yeah, damn.
Was any part of that race, I know you literally just got off like the warm-up track and like the award ceremony, all that stuff, like an out-of-body experience, because like this is sort of like everyone, you know, this morning, it must have been like a nervous wreck, you know, for the athletes in this race. Did you black out at any point?
Yeah, I think the last 50 I blacked out, and then, you know, crossing the finish line, like, I think it was just like relief, like, it's over. Like, you know, this has been a really, really hard 10 days. Like, it's hard to go last, and like, I'm such a track nerd. I've been watching a ton of stuff too, so I'm like riding the roller coasters with everyone else, like watching that 800. Like, my heart broke. I was like, I don't think I can watch any more track. Like, it was just like, you know, just this roller coaster. And then even myself, like, I was really nervous before round one. I'm like, why am I nervous for round one? Like, what's wrong with me? And then after the semi yesterday or the other day, I was like, I'm gonna win this thing. Like, you know, it's just like the highs and lows of the, you know, emotion. Yeah, Mitch called it. I
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
No one said that. I walked in the booth and everyone was like, oh, Mitch is here. I was like, we're not going to talk about I've been singing Nikki's praises the whole time. Like, it's their race to win. I'm curious. You was talking about it. We're in this beautiful renaissance of women's middle distance.
Renaissance.
Yeah, how do you like that?
He's an Australian.
Yeah.
That was
Sounds
fun.
so much better.
It's a Renaissance.
Stop it.
You're gonna take my question.
Maybe. If we're on telepathy, let's figure it out.
Take it.
We're in this beautiful renaissance of women's
one
middle
more time.
distance. No, I'll slide it in later.
Take
Renaissance.
us all to dinner first.
Look,
Yeah.
we're in this beautiful period of women's middle distance running, and you are at the top of it in this country. Like, you are the one
guess.
now that is at the top. You ran the second fastest time in American history today. Outside of the Olympics and the pressure of it and what we just talked about, you're pretty fucking good. You're pretty damn good.
You're very freaking good.
We're like,
How does that feel?
were
But
you
that's-
nervous
No,
for
that's-
the prelim?
That has
We
to
weren't for
be
you.
so validating. No, like, you've been 7 of these in a row. You've made teams. You've run a world indoor title. You've done all this amazing stuff.
Yeah.
This has to be so validating now to do this.
No, it really is. And like, I think what's great, like, I think I didn't realize how long of a journey it was going to be. You know, you think I was really good in high school. Like, I ran 4:42 in high school. Back in the day, that was good. And now they're running.
Whoa, that's good. That's pretty good.
And I got recruited to Oregon. It was a great school. And then I think I expected it to be really linear. Of like, okay, I'm going to, you know, I was really good in high school, and now I'm going to win NCAAs. Then I'm going to, like, sign with Nike and then be like that. Like, you know, you think you're going to have this really linear career, and it just, like, it wasn't. Like, I was good in college. Like, I got second twice. That's pretty good. Like, but like, I wasn't offered a big contract afterwards. Like, I got a small one, and then I've kind of just like had to work and like keep showing up and just keep being on that start line. And like, I was last in 2021, like dead last. Like, I think I ran 4:10. Like, and it was just like, I think it's just crazy, the like journey. Yeah.
I remember last year you and I sat in an airport in Oslo, Norway, and we were having this conversation, and I think you were like, can this Australian guy stop asking me all these stupid questions? But you
I'm
were
going to miss my flight.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, cool, man. Yeah, just go away. But you were talking about your sponsor. You were talking about Lululemon and them coming on board and how significant that was to you. And I remember you told me that it was like, they do not care about my result. Like, this is never results based. It's about who I am.
Yeah.
And it seemed like in this mix zone, so much of what you had to say was about you being in touch with who you are and how significant that's been in this process. So to partner with a company like Lululemon, which we don't see a lot of on the track, how cool is that now to also share this moment with them?
Oh, it was amazing. Like, I haven't cried yet, but like, I got really close to tears when I saw the Lululemon rep, because like, I just knew no matter what, like, he was going to be there with like a big hug waiting for me. And you know, his name's Mike, and he's just...
I love Mike! Mike is great.
You know Mike.
Mike's great.
So it's just like, that's it right there. It's like, they're like, we don't care how you do, we love you. And like, that's... Everyone in my life is saying that. Like, obviously my parents are saying that, and like my girlfriend's saying that. But like, to have the brand that like, this is about showing up
that
and
helps you pay your bills.
To say, hey, Nikki, I don't care what happens, we love you. Like, that's it. Like, that makes me run so free, and like, there's no expectations. Like, And yeah, I honestly want that for every single athlete. And like, I think brands are moving that way, and that's incredible. Yeah.
And as somebody who had the opportunity I didn't get to see you at Further. That was so sad. But I can like agree with what Nikki's saying. Like, they definitely love them, and man, now I'm gonna cry because Lululemon loves you.
I mean, the cameras are out. Like, pretty freaking good part of the documentary coming up.
Wait, now you're in the doc.
Right?
What did we say? The forefront of American distance running.
Yeah.
Hello.
You heard it here first.
Well, are you thinking Netflix?
It don't matter now.
Oh, okay.
Wait, but what's this one for?
Oh, this is just my they've been following me since last USA's, and
I'm gonna be in Nikki's documentary. I love Nikki.
One in Oslo, were they? What did I say last time?
No, they weren't there for that. You're good.
Pretty awesome, kind of. Now, this isn't even the ending. I feel like there's still more to write
start.
in Paris.
Yeah, it's a star, baby.
Can I ask one question? When you crossed the line, I know you said Olympics were on the mind, but did you have like the brief thought of, God, this is such a good ending to the documentary?
Well, yeah, because they actually got access. They were right. I mean, Curtin was the first guy I saw. He was right there in the camera. Like,
He was second happiest. He was like, yes!
Oh my God, we did it. We wrote the script.
Calling his boss like, we've done a good job. We've nailed this.
No, I mean, I was talking to, even just like the Tracktown, the little docu-series I'm doing, like I saw Annie, she's the one like putting it all together, and I was like, I feel like these like Tracktown stories like manifest good things for the athletes, but it really is. It's like, I'm like, there's eyes on me. It's like, it's mine. I just have to go do it, like kind of a vibe, and I think it manifests it in a way. I don't know.
Love it. We're all about manifesting on this show.
Yeah.
We did talk with Freddie earlier. He says that he is a dangerously optimistic individual, and that is probably the reason why he is on the Olympic team now.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
All right. I think this is the perfect way to wrap the final episode of Trials Talk, because now can we join the celebration?
Yeah, where are we going?
All right, that does it for Trials Talk from the 2024 U.S. Olympic Trials.
Drinking lollipop.
Wait,
Thanks
I would
to
do
everyone for tuning in, and we will pick this back up in Paris in just a couple weeks. I'm so stoked.
Sorry, just quickly. Big shout out to Chris.
Yeah!
Shout out to Chris and Mac and Sam and everybody that you don't see behind the scenes. It cannot be unspoken how much work everybody at this CITIUS MAG crew does, and obviously how much all the athletes love what you
We
do,
love
man.
you.
So congratulations to you guys. I just need to slide that in before you signed off and didn't give yourself any credit.
Well,
so well
and none of this would have been possible without the support that we had from New Balance to bring this big team here, and then in addition to that, like partnered with Prince Puckler's Ice Cream to get just like the perfect location. I hope we're back here just like for any other sort of US championships, because we're going to be coming here a lot.
Chris is going to move into this apartment.
Exactly.
I think that is unhealthy.
But yeah, no, I'm just
my
super
new
thankful
studio.
for the whole entire team who's made this kind of a success across anything, whether it was podcasts, newsletters, whatever it might be that you guys tuned in, watched, listened, read. And yeah, it only makes me more excited to just keep this momentum going as we head to the Olympics.
Paris,
so,
baby.
First Olympics for CITIUS MAG actually credentialed.
First Olympics.
Have a good night, everybody.
No, I was not. Wait.